Hello and welcome to Wisdom Bites. Hope you're well. Thank you once again for joining us. Very much appreciated. And in today's video, I'm going to continue the theme of how the price is developing for Bitcoin on the shorter term time frame as well as the larger term time frame. I will also have a look at the wider markets, especially the junk bond market and the Dow Jones index, and what they are showing us in terms of the overall bigger picture. But before I begin, the usual polite reminder, please remember everything in my videos is only for educational purposes. Nothing should be taken as financial advice, so please do your wider research before you make any investment decisions. And before I begin the positive affirmations, I just want you to know that for the last 30 to 40 years, I have yet to see the media present any good news. I can honestly say, for the last 30 to 40 years, there have been millions and millions of things on the media that would get me sad, miserable and depressed. And while we have to be sensitive to what's going on out there, not many people know this, but I used to work for the pharmaceutical companies and I used to sell for 12 years of my 17-year career. I sold antidepressants. And one of the things I learned from that was that the media had a very big role to play in making people feel down, miserable, sad and depressed because that's all they saw around them. And as a result of that, I made up my mind never to be dictated in my moods by the media out there. So all I would suggest is that please don't let the media news, especially if you've got them on a 24-hour loop, because you end up confirming and reconfirming and reconfirming all the bad news that are out there. The job of the media is always to give you bad news because that's what really sells, unfortunately. And unless you can do something about it, then for me, it's not worth worrying about something that you don't have any power or control over. But what we can do something about is what's in our hands, and that is we can make our mindset and our focus and our thinking go in a completely different direction to what's on in the media. And as a result of that, this is why I do the affirmations. So I hope you'll find value in these. And I have noticed in the comments, people are valuing this quite a lot. So I'll continue with these. And today I'm going to have a look at another 10 more affirmations, which are extremely powerful. So before I begin, sit yourself down, get your mind focused on all the positivity that is out there. So sit yourself down and focus on the following affirmations and repeat after me 3 times. I am a winner. I am a winner. I am a winner. I will achieve greatness. I will achieve greatness. I will achieve greatness. I take pleasure in doing what others say I cannot do. I take pleasure in doing what others say I cannot do. I take pleasure in doing what others say I cannot do. I have the will to win. I have the will to win. I have the will to win. I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do anything. I know I will succeed. I know I will succeed. I know I will succeed. I never give up. I never give up. I never give up. I will achieve greater heights. I will achieve greater heights. I will achieve greater heights. And finally, I stay focused to complete all my tasks. I stay focused to complete all my tasks. I stay focused to complete all my tasks. Okay, so I hope you found that helpful. And imagine now going out there with that mindset of what you've just said to yourself, because this is so much more relevant because it affects you as the person. So I hope you'll all have a fantastic day. But before you go out there, I'm going to do some micro and macro analysis for you on the chart here. Okay, so we're going to start off with the 4-hour chart. So if you've been watching my videos and following my tweets, you'll know that when we hit this candle here, this gravestone doji candle, I said watch out for the top of this wick, the price of which was 44,993, and the bottom of this wick, which was exactly 43,333. And this is a very powerful candle, especially at the top of a trend. And this candle then actually dictated the price action of all the other ones after that. And I did mention that what we're going to do is we're going to find many of these candles are going to be within the range of these highs and the lows of this candle. And this is exactly what's happened here. And you know that this was important because, as you can see from here, it found support at this level, right on the actual level here. Then it tried to go to the top of that and found rejection, but we breached it a little while. But again, it couldn't close above that level here. Then it went down to the bottom here to try and retest the bottom of it, still got rejected from the support. And finally, it tried a few times here to break this exact support line here. And yesterday, we finally broke down from that level. And look how important this breakdown was, because as soon as we broke down here, look what's happened. We've gone much, much further. So never underestimate the power of the gravestone doji. So whenever you see a gravestone doji at the top of a trend like this, please make sure you bow down and show respect to the power of the gravestone doji. Okay, back to the daily chart. We've got our dominant trend here, which I've mentioned many times. We've made a low here at 32,900, having broken the psychological key level of the 40,000 here. We've set a bottom so far at 32,900. We've broken back above the 40k level, the psychological level here, with a big Marubozu candle, as you can see from here. And we've tried to retest the $46,000 mark here from all the support that we had at this level on the left-hand side, as you can see. We've been rejected here now once, twice, and currently 3 times. And after the first time we got rejected, we came back and established a second bottom, which was higher than the previous bottom. So that tells you a clue that the market is trying to establish a double bottom pattern from which to take off. And that's why this level here, 46k, which is the level it came back to here, along with these support levels, is absolutely the critical level, because should we break the 46, it then confirms that this was the bottom. If we now break the 40k and create a lower level from this second bottom, then that's telling us that the market wants to go much lower. And that's why the current price action that we've got here is absolutely key. We need to really hold the 40k, bounce off that towards the 46k, and then break that. The 40k is key here. If we break the 40k here, I would suspect this time we're going to break this level here at the $34,000 mark. If we have a look at the 8 EMA, you can see quite clearly now, we found support on it yesterday, but today we are going and testing the levels here, but we are now testing it and going below it. So we need to wait for the candle to close, but the daily close needs to be above 41,500, 41,600. If we close below that, then we've lost the 8 EMA once again. And each time we lose this 8 EMA, we tend to get a flurry downwards, just like over here and here. So it's a key level to hold support on. And if we have a look at the 50 simple moving average here, again, we're trying to come back down towards it at the current 40,400 level to see if we can find support on it. This is certainly what I'm looking out for, around the 40,000 mark. Can we find support and then move back higher, or will we break and then retest the low 30s again? And if you have a look at the Fibonacci retracement, that gives us a clue. If we take it from the bottom here to the top, the 61.8 is right on the 50 simple moving average here. So that provides confluence and a magnet for the price to come back down to. So I would expect within the next day or two to come back to the 40,300. That might just happen today. And the reason why I have a lot of concerns about this chart with this downward trend that we have, which doesn't seem to be able to get above this key line here, which is 46,000. We've had multiple attempts at it. And the fact that we keep getting rejected here, to me, is quite alarming, or worrying at least, because if we look at the wider picture, that confirms to me why I should take a very careful approach to this market here. If we have a look at the junk bond market, we've been following this now for many, many months now, and we had these two levels, key levels here, that I'd get very concerned if we broke this level here. First of all, that would be a warning to become aware that a big crash may be coming. And that was at around about the 85 level mark. And then the one that I would be very much worried about would be this level, 83.7. And we've basically broken that now. And for the last few weeks, whilst we've made attempts to get back above it, we've basically failed and are now testing a lower level here from these support and resistance points to the left here. And while the wicks are quite long at the bottom, saying that there is enough pressure to push the market up, it won't take very much on a bigger macro scale to tip this market down. And this could be the start of triggering off the Dow Jones index collapse. Because what we know with the junk bond market is that these are bonds which are people holding, which are very high earning, but at the same time, they're very high risk. And these people are very sensitive to any negative news out there. And faced with that uncertainty, they're more likely to pull the trigger before the Dow Jones index. And the Dow Jones index takes its cue from the junk bond market. And if we have a look at the Dow Jones index, we have these levels for many months now. When we were coming up here, I drew these lines for us, and we've already breached the first line of defense, which is the red zone here. We tried to hold support on it many times in the last few months, but we've now breached that, gone as low as this level here, which is around about the 32,280. So what I'm waiting for is on the weekly chart for it to break down below the 33,000. That would be a sign that we are going to have a crash, as far as I'm concerned. So we've got to be very careful. The positive sign is that we did try to break this level 3 times now, which tells you why this level is important. But each time we've been pushed back. And currently, as you can see, we found support back in the red zone again. And that's why these two zones, the red zone here and the green dotted line here, this zone in itself is very important. If we break out of that, that would be a very bad sign for the markets. Okay, only time will tell. In the meanwhile, we can just focus on the price action, what's happening with Bitcoin here. And the 2 levels to look out for is really, are we going to come back and find support at the $40,000 level and try and go back up to the 46,000, or are we going to actually retest these lows here? Okay, so we'll leave it there. I hope you found value in the video, and I hope you found some value in the affirmations as well. I'm sure you're going to have an amazing day, and if you did find value in the video, then please do remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you have any comments, questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Until the next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.